Hi, Namaskaram and welcome back. I wanted to talk about something that is happening right now in this world, because I talked to one of my friend a day before yesterday, and what he said about his life, the way he said about his life, made me think a lot about it. Making it more suspense, let me tell you what he said. So he's already in a job. So he's actually making his own living, but along with that he is preparing for something else just to enhance his career, correct? That is exactly what society says to us, that once you are sorted with something, once you are fixed with something, you should enhance yourself, you should enhance yourself, you should earn a little bit more money so that you can make your lifestyle better, correct? That's what society say, and that's what we do as well. So when he is doing it, he have to study a lot. Now he is struggling to manage time, somehow he is managing, and even after managing the time as well, he is very skeptic and anxious about what are the results are going to be. And also where he is preparing, the people who are taking these classes and all, they are taking interviews as well, so they are putting a lot of pressure on them that you have to get selected in the interviews and all. So they are scolding as well if my friend is not studying. So he is more anxious about that as well. So right now what essentially happening to us, if we have to understand, is if there will be a person sleeping on roadside, he would be having simple problem in his mind that what should I get to eat next. But right now, once we are having everything sorted around us, we are making our own living in much better way, we are more anxious than a normal person who is homeless. So is this the way that we really wanted to live? No, right? So what happened to society over the time is, initially society was formed for human beings to get them together, because if we strive individually towards something, we find a lot of difficulties and we will not be equally capable to get it. But if we collectively work towards something, then we will get it, right? So that is why society formed, and they made some certain rules, they made some certain ways to live, so that we can make our survival process better. So over the time what happened is, survival process was taken care of, everything was sorted. So once the survival process was over, people started making their life better, life as in living better, correct? So again they started living better, but then again also living better started becoming good. People started living joyfully, happily, they started dancing, singing, all these things came out in the nature. But over the time people started upgrading themselves to lifestyles, so they started enhancing their lives to lifestyles. Now most of the people you will see focusing more on lifestyle than lives. So what they are doesn't matter, but how they are living, the accumulations of them now matters more. So unfortunately we have glorified it to such an extent that people right now focus more on what is my lifestyle should be, more than how am I living. So this is where we have turned towards the other direction. So if we keep on pursuing on this path, then essentially what will happen in the future, will keep on accumulating things around us, but over the time will deteriorate this mental health that you can see right now these days. They are saying by 2045 or 2060, the next generation to come, mental health is going to become a pandemic, and if it becomes a pandemic, then it is going to be really terrible, because over the time the pandemics that we got, like plague or this corona or polio, these pandemics are external in nature, so we used some sort of vaccination for it. But when something will happen inside of you, you are generating the problems, the pandemic is here inside the head, then treating it would be a lot more difficult. And when it will start happening to people are going to die in a different way, and the life in the society, the place where we would be living, is not going to be a better place, that I can at least imagine, and you can also imagine for that. So trying to fix the society is not going to be the right solution from here onwards, because society has already moved towards a certain extent that irrespective of what you do, they will expect, and you will have to try to match their expectation. They will tell you, do this job, or do this thing in the office, or do that, everything they will tell you. They will set up an expectation on you, and they will make sure that you try to do it, you put efforts to do it, and they'll expect you the same result from everyone else as well. But you can easily imagine the fact that, which is very true, that no human is equally capable, correct? If we talk about external means, that what you can do I cannot do, what I can do you cannot do, everything cannot be done by everyone, right? But when it comes to job, when it comes to school expect the same results from everyone, right? Jobs expects the same result from everyone. So the idea of expectation of this society is never going to be fulfilled, but they will keep on expecting to you, and you try to match their expectation, and every single time you will fail. And when you will fail, you start blaming yourself. This stress, this anxiety, this depression thing will start becoming normal to you. So what I essentially wanted to tell you is that we cannot match the expectation of the society the way they are fixing it, right? Somewhere or the other we will fail, because that is how we are. We are not going to be perfect ever, right? So what society is expecting from us may not be possible for every one of us, but keeping ourselves, keeping this system happy and at good condition, at stability, is something that we can strive for as well. And this is very much possible. After living in the ashram, that is one thing that I've realized, that irrespective of what is the situation, you can keep yourself happy, you can keep yourself stable. Happy is another aspect of it, but keeping this system in a balanced state, that is one thing that matters the most, because unless and until you are balanced, things are going to happen around you which will stretch you in a different way, which will turn you apart. So at least if you keep this system stable, then things will happen around you, but you can move easily through them. You can glide over them, you can slide over them, you can surf those problems, surf those situations around you. So that is why I think this is the right time to turn inwards, because if you turn inwards, then you start living better. If you start living better, 5 people around you start living better. If 5 people around you start living better, the next generation to come in your life, your childs, your grandchilds, they are going to live better. So it starts from here onwards. So it's not intelligent for us to wait for that moment when the pandemic happens and then we start taking some action against it, towards it. But right now also, if we can understand the simple fact that sometimes we are going really off balance, sometimes we are going into some certain state that we do not like to go, sometimes we are not being happy, sometimes we are like things happening to us that we are going such a miserable state that we do not like. So it is the right time where you are sometimes happy. I'm sorry, my battery of my camera got exhausted. So I was saying, this is the right time to go inward, because if we talk about inward capabilities, a person might not do everything in outside world, but when it comes to inward capabilities, everyone is equally capable to keep this system happy. It might possible that something goes around you very wrong, but how you respond to that is completely upon you. It might possible things are happening very sad or bad in your life, but you can choose very much consciously that how you want to respond, how you want to live to that. It might possible that someone might say something to you which is very hurtful, but it is again very much possible how you respond to that person within yourself. So whatever might be the situation around you, when it comes to your own well-being, you can take 100% responsibility on that one. You can control it very much. So I think this is the right time to start focusing back to well-being again, because unless and until you start focusing on the well-being, unless and until you start focusing on how you are living, unless and until you are getting your system to a certain balance or stability, whatever you do, whatever achievement that you go for, whatever the process, whatever the goals that you are having, they will start getting disbalanced. Even if you are achieving them, you will not be able to enjoy it. So to make the process joyful, you have to make the system joyful first. So if you focus on your well-being first, then everything that you do will become a process of joy, and that is what we have to make. This is a life that we have got, and we are not going to get it back again. So if we want to make the best use of this life, at least we have to make this system stable, right? We should start focusing on our own well-being first, and if that is done, that is taken care of, then everything else will be just piece of cake. Yes or no? Correct, right? So what we can do about it, we cannot do anything about the society, but we can do everything about this system. So what exactly we are going to do? If we see around the world, then you can easily see that entire world is engineered in a different way. The kind of comfort and convenience that we have caused to ourselves is unimaginable, because if we would have talked about it 500 years ago, then people would have said ki you are gone crazy, these things are not going to happen. But those kind of things is happening right now. So drastically we have transformed this entire planet into a different way of living, different lifestyles. So in terms of lifestyle, we have already got into a certain place, into a certain situation, balanced state where we can manage all kinds of external situation around us, right? But when it comes to internal situation, we have to start doing this engineering. So external engineering is done, but we need to start doing is inner engineering. When we talk about inner engineering, is that when we got this body, got this mind, we can say that this is one of the most sophisticated tool or machine on the planet. Yes, the way every machines are working, you can be able to understand, but how this machine is working, it is really difficult to understand. Yes, no? So is not it essential for us to start learning about this system, how this system works, how this system responds to everything else? So that is what I'm talking as inner engineering. So if you start learning about inner engineering, start understanding that how this system works, how this system responds, the basic fundamentals of the system, then it will become very easy for you to respond to every kind of situation around you. If you fix the fundamentals of your life, fundamentals of how we are living, then rest of the things will start becoming a piece of cake. In the same place where your boss is yelling at you, you'll respond in a different way. Same place, things are happening wrong to you, you'll respond in a different way. Same people saying a lot of hurtful thing, you'll respond in a different way. So keeping this system in a stable condition, balanced condition, is going to enhance the quality of your life and make you naturally peaceful and joyful. And that is what at least I want for you, and that is what at least you can do for yourself. Because if you can do that much, then it is not only about you, it is about everyone around you who are living. If you become a fantastic person, an amazing human being, then rest of the people who are living around you will start loving you. They will start liking to spend time with you. So the best thing that you can do for yourself and for entire world is become a wonderful human being. So what I can tell you from here is that this is the time to start going for inner engineering. And if you really want to do it, then there's a link in the description below. Do not think about this is some scam or something which are trying to get money out of it. I can assure you that if you go through inner engineering and practice this for one complete year, there is no way you are not going to get result. You do not need to expect anything, you do not need to find yourself transform 100%, but what it will do internally is going to be a drastic change within you. Within just 6 months of time, what kind of result that you're going to get is unimaginable. Again, it depends upon person to person. It is also scientifically proved by Harvard University as well. But what I wanted to tell you as a human being, that your well-being is something that really matters to me. I know it is not directly connected, but how you live determines how 5 people live around you, and how 5 people live around you matters how 10 and 15 people live around you, and that is how it matters how the entire world is living. So it is really important for me to make you live well. Now technically I cannot do that. It is something that you can choose for yourself. The only thing that I'm requesting is to start doing inner engineering, because it will not take much time, but it can much time or much energy or effort, but it can transform you from within, and that is what we need on this world right now at this point. I hope you will think about it, because it's something that I know it matters to you a lot. So let's make it happen. I'll see you in the next video.